Hello, come close. Come and learn fractions. Let's learn fractions. All right, this is GSS1 first term week 4 mathematics. It's all about fraction. So in this particular video, we have the following content, the following subtopics. First, we look at definition of fraction, that is meaning of fraction. Next, we look at types of fractions. We have the proper, improper, and mixed. And finally, we look at converting improper fractions to mixed and vice versa. So let's start with the meaning of fraction. Meaning of fraction. Alright, before we even look at the mathematical meaning, let's consider it in terms of English. Normally, when we say fraction of something, it means a part of that thing, a part of that thing. So we can say that your head is a fraction of your entire body. You can say that your hand is a fraction of your whole body. Good. In Nigeria, we have 36 states. So if you pick just 2 states out of the entire 36 states, for example now, if you pick Lagos State, where we are, and you pick Kwara State, where I come from, so you have 2 states picked. You have selected 2 states out of 36 states. So I can say that this is 2 out of 36. So that means those 2 states are fractions of the entire 36 states. So in normal English, you can say that fraction is a part of a whole. A part of a whole. Now, but in mathematics, when a number is divided by another number, it is called fraction. So the combination is called fraction. Now, when a number is divided by another number in this manner, you have A over B. So A is not actually a number, it is a letter, and B is also a letter. But we are doing it in a general way, like the generalized form. So A can be a number on top, and this will also be another number. Both must be integers or whole numbers. So, for example now, we can have 2 over 5. So 2 over 5. 2 is a whole number, and 5 is also another whole number. So what does this actually mean? So if you look at this definition, you can use this sense to interpret this. So when you divide something to 5 equal parts, and you just pick 2 out of the 5 equal parts, that means you have just represented 2 over 5. For example now, let's have a rectangle. If this is a rectangle, and I divide this rectangle into 5 equal parts, I have to divide it into 5 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's take 2 parts out of the 5 equal parts. We just shade 2 parts out of the 5 equal parts. So this is just 2 out of 5 equal parts. So that means this shaded part is 2 out of 5. So we can represent it as 2 over 5. That means the remaining 3 parts that we did not shade is 3 over 5. So if you add 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5, that must give you the entire, if you add this fraction plus this fraction, it will give you the whole shape. So that is why they say fraction is a part of, you can see that this is just a part of the whole rectangle. Very good. So another example, let's say you are given an orange, just one orange, and you want to share it equally among your 4 brothers. Let's say this is the orange, You want to share it into 4 equal parts. You can divide it along the vertical. You can also divide it along the horizontal. So making 4 equal parts. So let's say this is your own. When you remove your own out of this, this is your own part out of the. So what you have taken away from this circle, if you remove this part, is 1 out of 4. So that's 1 out of 4. That is 1/4. That means this is a part of the entire orange. So the remaining 3 parts are also 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4. If you now add 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, that will give you the entire orange. So this is just a simple introduction to fraction. Now, let's look at components of a fraction. Components of a fraction. That is, what are the things that make up a fraction? That's components of a fraction. Now, components of a fraction simply means what are the things that make up a fraction. So, if I have A over B, the number on top here is always called the numerator. While the number at the bottom is called the denominator. Then this line in between them is called the dividing line. Or let's say the division line. So A is the numerator, B is the denominator, and this line is the division line. Very good. So that means if I have 7/10, it simply means that 7 is the numerator and 10 is the denominator. So now if I give you 8/17, so drop your answer in the comment section. Which one is the numerator and which one is the denominator? Let us know the numerator and the denominator in the comment section. And this is the division line. So you can liken this to this. So this is all I mean by component of a fraction. Next, we have to go to types of fraction. Let's go. Types of fraction. So as you can see in the subtopic, we have 3 types of fraction. So types of fraction. So number 1, we have the proper fraction. Secondly, we have the improper fraction. And thirdly, we have the mixed fraction. Now, for proper fraction, when the numerator is smaller than the denominator, we are going to have a proper fraction. When the numerator, the number on top, is smaller than the number at the bottom, so we have a proper fraction. You can create thousands of examples on your own. So, for example, you can have 2/7. 2/7 is a proper fraction. Reason because you have a smaller number on top and a bigger number under. So the numerator has to be smaller. Another one is 8/25. etc. So you too can create more examples. Drop it in the comment section. Before I go to the next one, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly click the subscribe button. Subscription is free, no payment. So it's completely free. Don't think the way you subscribe to your phone or the way you subscribe to your GoTV or any other things that you subscribe to, that's how you subscribe to YouTube channel. No, subscription is free. Just click subscribe. So let us move to the next one. Number 2, improper fraction. Now here you will have the numerator bigger this time around. So that means the numerator has to be bigger than the denominator. So the numerator will be bigger than the denominator. So with all this fraction, I can get an improper fraction. Just flip the numerator to become the denominator. So I can have 7 out of 2. 7 over 2 is an improper fraction. Another one is 25 over 8 is an improper fraction. 80 over 4 or 80 over 3 is an improper fraction. So we have ETC. You can also form now and drop it in the comment section. Let's go to mixed fraction. So mixed fraction is when you have a whole number beside a proper fraction. You must have a whole number, then a proper fraction will be beside it. You can also create thousands of examples on your own. So let's say you have 3 whole number. Let me give just a proper fraction. I just use 2 over 7. Select another one. 1 over 2. So 3 whole number, 1 over 2 is a mixed fraction. You can see that this 3 is a whole number. Then this is 1 over 2, which is a proper fraction. So this is 3 wholes, 1 half. 3 whole and 1 over 2. Another one can be 4 whole number, 2 over 7. 4 whole number, 2 over 7. So you can see how simple it is. ETC. So you can create millions of examples on your own. So now let us see how we can convert from improper fraction to mixed and mixed fraction to improper. So let's go. That's conversion among fractions. Conversion among fractions. So question can say convert to improper fraction. So you first of all, that means you want to convert to improper fraction. That means the question must already be in mixed fraction. For example, question can say 5 whole number 3 over 7. You want to convert 5 whole number 3 over 7. Another one can be 3 whole number 4 over 9. So you want to convert this. I'll just do these 2 examples and then get our answer. This is just a simple way of converting fractions. So this is a very simple thing. All you need to do is to do 7 times 5 plus 3. So let's write that. 7 times 5 plus the 3, all divided by 7. So now, this is where most students get it wrong. They will now go and do 5 plus 3 first and later multiply by 7. That is wrong. You have to follow the BIDMAS rule or the BODMAS rule. I have taught the BODMAS rule in one of our videos. Go and check it. So where I taught whole numbers and BODMAS. So you must do the multiplication first. That's 7 times 5. That will give you 35. 35 plus 3, that will give you 38. So the answer is 38 over 7. You can see we are coming all the way from mixed fraction to improper fraction. So our answer is now an improper fraction. Good. Let's see another one. The second one is 9 times 3 plus 4. So I'll do 9 times 3 plus 4 divided by the denominator. You must not change the denominator. Good. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 4, that will give me 21. So that will be 21 over 9. So you can see how simple converting fraction from mixed fraction to improper can be. Very easy. Very easy. So I'm going to take you now to how to convert from mixed fraction to improper fraction. Mixed fraction to improper fraction. So, from improper to mixed now. Convert to mixed fraction. So the question must already be in improper fraction. You want to change it to mixed. Let's say question 1, 43 over 5. Question 2, 19 over 3. Very good. Now, how do we do this? Very interesting. You need to know your division very well. You need to know your division very well. You can go back to my videos on division. I have taught short division and long division. Now, in this case, you might not need all that if you can use your head. So how many 5 can I get from 43? How many times can 5 go in 43? That must be 8 times. So that will be our whole number. So the 8 will be 8 whole number. Please, you have to write the 8 to be bigger. So now, what will be the remainder if you divide 43 by 8? The remainder has to be 3. So the 3 will now be the numerator over the denominator, which is 5. So the answer is 8 whole number, 3 over 5. The mistake that many students make is that they write 8 whole number, 3 over 5 like this. This is wrong. So what you have done is to say 83. What you have done now is that you said 83 over 5. And this is wrong. So you have changed the nature of the question already. So be careful when you are writing the whole number. Make it big. So 8 whole number, 3 over 5. Very good. So let's go to the second part. So this one says 19 over 3. How many times can 3 go in 19? So you can just use your 3 times table. So you can always use your 3 times table. 3 times what will give me 19. So, but we can't get that on the table. But we have something close. That's 3 times 6, 18. 3 times 6 will give you 18. That is close enough to 19. So that means 3 times 6. It is 6 that we are going to pick. That will be 6 whole number. So, but 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract that 18 from 19. That will give me 1. So remainder 1 over 3. So this is the answer. Don't write it as 61 over 3. Thinking that this is 6 whole number is wrong. So don't do that. All right? Very good. Now, okay, I can just rub it up. We can now quickly see another way to say fractions. Other ways to say fractions. So fraction, sometimes they may not pronounce it the way you know. So look at this now. What you are saying here. This is 1 over 2, right? Yes, you are right. So they can also call it 1/2. They can also call this 1/2. Or simply half. Or simply half. So this is another name for 1 over 2. Can call it 1/2 or simply call it half. Good. So 1 over 3. 1 over 3 can be called 1 over 3. You are right. So but we can also call it 1/3. 1/3. That means 2 over 3. 2 over 3, we can call it 2/3. 2/3. So this is another name for all these fractions. Okay, 1 over 4. When you have 4 as the denominator, just know that it's a quarter. So this can be pronounced as 1/4. 1/4. 1/4. So that means if I have 2 over 4, that will be 2/4. 3 over 4 will be 3/4. And so on, 3/4. Then we can go for 1 over 5. 1 over 5 is 1/5. 1/5. So you change the 5. Instead of saying 1/5, you change the 5 to ordinal number. Ordinal number is numbers that indicate position. 5th is a position. So that will be 1/5. 1/5. So that means if I have 2 over 5, that will be 2/5. 2/5. So it can go like that. 3/5, 4/5, and so on. Then if I have something like 2 over 9, this will be pronounced as 2/9. So sometimes when the teacher is teaching, they may not say 2 over 9. They just say 2/9. Even if the denominator is big. For example, 3 over 20. So this will be 3 20th. 3/20th. So don't feel surprised at what's going on. Don't feel lost when the teacher is teaching and is saying 3/20 and they call it 3/20th. Don't feel lost. So everything is still within the same. We are still talking about the same thing. Very good. So the last thing that I will give you here now, the last thing that I will give you here is when fractions have numerators of 1. So they are called unit fractions. Unit fractions. So when fractions have the numerator of 1, like 1/2, 1/5, 1/7, 1/8, even 1/3, 1/4, 1/9, no matter what, just know if the numerator is 1, then the fraction is called unit fraction. These are all called unit fraction. Unit fractions. So that when you see them, you will not be surprised at what's going on. So which one is unit fraction again? So we are still saying the same thing. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. So this is be the end of week 4 mathematics, week 4. So we are done with that. My name is Sheikh Ridwanullah Abubakar. Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. God bless you.